And so you got an image that kind of looks like that. That's the best I can do, I think. Yeah. So for example number 2, we've got an image like this, and we've got W, Z, Y, and X, and we're told using the common parts, we're given that angle ZXW is congruent to angle Y. Let me move this over a little bit. Is congruent to YWK. We're also told that angle ZWX, or I'm sorry, Y.
Do you mean X?
Yeah, let me write this down. I'm going to start over. So in example number 2, we have a figure like this, and so we're given a couple things. We're given that angle ZXW is congruent to angle YWX. Okay, so let's mark that on the thing. So I've got ZXW. So this angle here is congruent to YWX, this angle here. My triangle's off just a little bit because the board's being difficult. Then we're also given that angle ZWX is congruent to angle YXW. Okay, so we're going to say ZWX, which is this big one here, is congruent to YXW, which is this big one here. So those two angles are congruent. And then this is kind of cool. What they want us to prove, that ZW is congruent to YX. So ZW is congruent to YX. All right, so let's think about that. Basically what they want us to do is they want us to prove that this ZW is congruent to YX, based on the fact that those angles are both the same. And I know how to do this, and it's written down in your textbook, but I want us to think about how do we do that? I think a good place to start, we have to show that they're overlapping triangles. So I'm going to just sketch this out real quick. I've got this triangle here, right? In fact, let me draw it in a different color so it doesn't confuse any of you guys. I've got this triangle here, which is like WZX, and then I've got this other triangle here, which is like WXY. And so if I extract those two triangles out of the original and pull them apart, I've got these two. And then I see here that this angle is congruent to this angle, when you think about it, the big angles. And then I've also got that this little angle here is congruent to this one. So I got two angles. Now, if I wanted to prove that those triangles are congruent, I need like a side or a third angle. Well, technically, if all three angles are the same, that doesn't prove congruence. Remember, I have to have some sort of side length. I know, put your hands down. Well, we see that WX is congruent to WX, right? So now I have an angle side angle congruence thing. So by drawing this, what I'm really saying is triangle ZWX is congruent to triangle Y, right? We got to get this corresponding thing right. So what corresponds to WX in this case, and then W. Okay, and then what we're saying is that ZW is congruent to YX. So this is true because corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Now this is just kind of a flow thing. We weren't asked to write a formal proof, we just needed to prove that. Okay, now does anybody have any questions on that?